Spotfire, the components, architecture, and why do we use Spotfire. So all that we are going to discuss today. So today we are going to discuss about Tibco Spotfire, which is a data visualization tool. So Tibco is a company and Spotfire is a product name. So Spotfire is a product name which is given by Tibco company, and this is a completely analytical tool, a data visualization tool to analyze your data more deeply, more efficiently. So why do we use Tibco Spotfire? Suppose let's give me an example. Let me give you an example. Like here we have, you are a business leader. You have to take your decisions, and based on that decisions, your company growth, revenue will be getting affected. So one day you came in morning in your office, and you are presented with a lot of data in the form of an Excel sheet, and you have to analyze that data. You have to analyze the data, and you have to go to some meeting, and then you have to take some decisions. So all that you have to analyze your data based on that. So it will not be easy to analyze your data in the form of an Excel sheet just by looking there and creating charts in that. So we can also create some reports in Excel also, but it will not be that easy. So for that we need a tool which will be easy to use and which will give us the insights of the data. So for that we use Tibco Spotfire. And Tibco Spotfire is an in-memory analytical tool, traditionally a tool which which is used in every of the sectors. And so, but what can we say to the analysts people so that they can go to Tibco Spotfire is that when creating the reports in Excel, they have the disadvantage of just having creating the, it will take more time, and they cannot do a lot of calculations there. They cannot do advanced calculations there, and also they don't have options to automate the jobs in this Excel. Suppose we can change one chart to another chart based on one click event, and that we can do in Spotfire. We can navigate to different pages or to different locations and different links through Spotfire, and we can just do some regression kind of modeling, advanced modeling algorithms. All that we can do in Spotfire. And see what is happening with Spotfire. We are giving a very drill down option, a very deep drill down options. All that we are providing through Spotfire. But to do all these things in Excel, you need a lot of time and lot of calculations. All that will be involved. But and I will say that most of the calculations will not be possible. Whatever we can do in a Spotfire. So based on our data. Based on we can just import the data in the form of Excel from Excel. Also, a report on Excel will using the data of millions of rows. All that you can do in Spotfire. Suppose you have created a report based on your which is having a data source from data source which is having millions of records, and you have published a report in web player. Web player is a component to view the report by business and users. So when the report is published into the web player, that report will, we can produce the report in the web player, and that report will load automatically at an interval of time. So all the data, whatever data is there into your databases, all that will be reflected automatically, so that always when the end user comes and view the reports, accesses the reports, they will see only the updated data. So this is the kind of functionality which is provided by Spotfire, not using Excels. And also if using in Spotfire, you can do automated jobs creating on the click events. So click event of buttons, you can just move to one chart to another chart. That cannot be done in I guess in Excel, which is the limitation of Excel. All that will be developed by me, and if I require the coding requirements, coding requirements are there, then all that will be done by me. So if the business analyst is accessing the report, to take some decisions and all that, and it is also seen by the management people, business leaders, so they don't need to have that much of knowledge on coding standard and coding on all that. So all that will be done by that will be done by me only. So I must have little bit knowledge on IR pattern and all that, so that I can create some advanced reports in Spotfire. And as we can analysis. So it is self-service tool, means it's very easy. It's very user friendly. even like the person, like business people who don't have very little IT knowledge, they can also analyze the data by themselves. Just like they can create some sample reports by themselves. They just have to have like professional client, and they can just import the data using Excel and into your Spotfire, and they can analyze their data by themselves. And Tibco Spotfire makes it easy for you to access, analyze, and create dynamic reports on your data, and gives you filters interactively and gives you answers instantly. So whatever you have some 10,000s of rows, tens of thousands of rows in your Excel, and you have to take some like analyze your data. How will you analyze? It can be like more threads in your data. It can be some opportunities which are not seen in your data. So all that information will be seen by analyzing your data. So it's very like Spotfire provides in-memory business discovery platform and can make decisions fast. So in this, like to create a dashboard, you must have a professional client, which is a platform. Professional client is a platform on which you are going to create your dashboards, and all those dashboards, whatever you are creating, will be published to Spotfire web player across the enterprise. So web player is a platform where business user will come and will access all the reports according to their accesses. And Spotfire can connect to like many data sources, out of which like I have given some few data sources as sample here, like Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata, Hadoop, Astrodata, SAS, like all these are the data sources. But the list goes to 30 plus data sources right now till 6.5. So recently, like in market, we are using 6.5, but recently 6.0. But recently, like last week only, they have like introduced 6.5 into the market. So now we will have 6.5 in the market. So till now, like around 30 plus data sources, they have 30 plus data sources to be connected to Spotfire. So what does Spotfire do? So visibility into unknown, as I told you, like whatever data threads, your opportunities are there in your data. Suppose say you want to analyze your data like country and like region level data, and you want to analyze in which region you are just giving having good opportunities, in which region you are not doing good, so that you can just pay your attention more on that area. All that will be seen by your reports, and that can be analyzed using Spotfire very efficiently. Faster to actionable insight. So you can just like take action based on your data. It will be very fast, not like you have to wait on like for a couple of weeks and all that. It will be very fast to take your actions. So next is self-service discovery. As I told you, like this is self-service discovery. You can analyze your data by your own. It doesn't need that much of like IT like dependency to create a dashboard. Universal adaptability. Universal adaptability means like all those reports will be adaptable to any of the environments. See, to view the reports, we just need web player access and browsers, and it can be seen in like mobile devices. So everything like will be universal, any environment. Dashboard and analytic apps. To view the reports, we also have like instead of like other than this browsers on desktop, we have like option to view the reports on iPad and mobile applications. So mobile applications are also introduced in 6.0 version with mobile matrices. And next we have predictive analytics. So you can just predict your like data. You can just predict your like you can analyze your data and predict your decisions for your like growth of revenue, like revenue growth of your company. So based on your predictions only, based on your analysis of your data only, you are going to take some decisions which will be like having impact on your like organization. So these are the things like which Spotfire do. This is the business use case, like just a sample. Like it is like company like chemical informatics software was using compounds, chemical compounds, and all that. But they were having like a very tough time with Excel. But when they started using, this is a real-time example. So when they started using Tibco Spotfire, for the analytical applications and all that to analyze the data. They find it very beneficial, very user friendly, and with the help of that they were able to generate more revenue and more like growth to their like organization. So they are now like taking data from Oracle databases, so to analyze the data into Spotfire. So this is just a real-time example here. Next we have components of Tibco Spotfire. So as I told you, like Tibco Spotfire is a complete environment. In this, first of all, what you need to have Tibco Spotfire server. So this is the heart of server. So this will be the main component here. So based on that, all components will be connecting with each other. After installing the Tibco Spotfire server, you must have Tibco Spotfire Professional Client. So Tibco Spotfire Professional Client is a platform to create all the dashboards. So developer like you or me will be creating all the dashboards on Tibco Spotfire Professional Client only. Next we have Tibco Spotfire Web Player. So this is a platform where like all the like business users will come and access their reports. Next is Tibco Spotfire Enterprise Player. Enterprise Player is also a kind of like professional client, but with limited editable options. This can be used by business users mainly. So next we have automation services and statistical services. All these are deployed on Tibco Spotfire server. Automation services are basically used to automate their jobs. Suppose say like you want to refresh your report at a specific interval of time, and after that you want to send an email to your business users that report is loaded into your web player and they can come and access the report. Or the report is loaded, after that it will take a screenshot and it will take the snapshot and take the PDF file and will send to their email business users that report has been loaded and the data is coming in this way. So all that, these are the automated jobs which can be done using automation services. And this is the benefit of using Spotfire, that all that automated jobs can be done in Spotfire, but in traditional BI tools that will not be possible. Next, statistical services. To do your advanced calculations, to the advanced modeling, data modeling, to use advanced like data algorithms, all that will be done, all that can be done using statistical services. In this, you can use R language, R which is an open source language. Next we have H+, and Tibco has developed a runtime engine for themselves that is called TERR, Tibco Enterprise Runtime for R. Next we have business author. These components like business author, consumer, matrices author and matrices consumer, all these were introduced in Spotfire version 6.0 last year. So in this, like business author is just a like web player. So in this, like the business of the business user, right now what is happening? So when the developer like me is creating any dashboard and publishing that report in the web player, so when end user will come, they won't be able to edit any of the functionalities in web player of the dashboard. But using business author, they can use all that like they can edit the functionality of dashboard. Suppose if they want to create line chart to bar chart, convert line chart to bar chart, they can do. They can increase the filters. All that functionalities they can do in business author license. So there is a separate license for this. So you have to go for separate license for to get the business author. Next we have Tibco Spotfire consumer. Consumer is just a professional client. So like that will be, they have given a new name called professional client in 6.0. Next we have matrices author and matrix consumer. So all that are mobile applications, for mobile applications. To create mobile applications, matrices author and matrix consumer to view the mobile applications in like iPad and mobile devices. Next we will discuss about like roles and descriptions. There are different roles in Spotfire can be played. So one of them is Spotfire analyst. Spotfire analyst is just nothing like but like business analyst, which is the medium between the client and your project team. So what will happen? The business analyst will like contact the project client and they will just, and the business analyst will gather all the requirements. That what are the requirements, how the what are the requirements of the client, how they want to see their dashboards and all that. All that information will be passed to project team. So which comes under Spotfire authors. So Spotfire authors. So what is the job of Spotfire author? So first of all, the job of Spotfire author is to gather the information of data. That from where the data is coming, what are the data sources, to clean up the data and to get the clean data and to create the views, tables, all that information. And so the present information to the team, that will be presented to the team, like if many users, many members are working on the same same environment, Spotfire environment. And next we have to set up analysis for others to cover the user needs and their business requirements. So according to the business requirement, we have to create the data like dashboards. We have to import the data into a Spotfire client. After that, we have to start building the dashboards according to business requirements. So after that, the author will prepare standardized reports. And next we have Spotfire author will be an application specialist. Application specialist means that they will be having access to completely Spotfire, Spotfire. Like me, I am performing a specialist role. So I will be the expert in Spotfire. So same way the other person who is working on Spotfire will be the expert in this technology. So if any issue comes, if they have any business in the business, people or any the management, higher management or the client have any requirements, that will come to the Spotfire author only. Next we have a role called Spotfire developer. Author developer of Spotfire. We are extending the functionality of Spotfire. As we know, Tibco Spotfire is built in completely in C# code. So to extend the functionality of Spotfire, we must have Visual Studio and C#.net. So using this C#.net, we can extend the functionality. So why do we need this? Suppose you are working in an organization and you don't there are many things suppose you have radar chart. Radar chart is a kind of chart which is not available in Spotfire. And you want to go for that. So right now only 10 types of visualizations are presented in Spotfire. Line chart, bar chart, combination chart, summary table, cross table, heat map, map chart. Like that, 10 types of visualizations are there. And you want to have one more kind of visualization in your Spotfire, so that your developers can use those. You can use that particular visualization in Spotfire. So you have to create the code. You have to create that kind of visualization in your code, and you have to deploy it to your server. So using this, you can, and when your developer will open the Spotfire client, they will see one more kind of visualization in Spotfire. So all that will be limited to your environment only, to your Spotfire server only, not for others. So, and to get some more automated jobs also, mashups are there, there are many mashups which can be done in Spotfire using Spotfire.net code. So all that will be done by Spotfire developer. That comes under Spotfire extension part. So that is called Spotfire extension. Next we have administrator. So administrator is the person who is administrator the Spotfire environment. So he is the one-man control of Spotfire, who will be controlling all the functionality of Spotfire on the higher perspective. Installation and configuration of Spotfire platform on the servers, upgrading from latest version last version to latest versions. Centrally manages user and user base accesses and configuration. Suppose you are the user, you are the new user, and you require access to some specific reports in web player. So to provide the accesses and all that, to create new user in web player, all that will be done by administrator only. To create the information links, information assets needs information links to have access to databases. So all that will be managed by administrator only. And migration of code from one environment to another. Suppose say like you have we are working in 3 environments right now: development, test, and production. So initially, like when we start our like development, our project, it comes under development only. So after development, all that will be done, and when development, we must have to migrate all the dashboards, columns, joins, links, all that will be migrated from development to test. So who will do this, all these things? So all that will be like managed by administrator only. From test and dev to test to production. And if any changes comes, if any requirements, again new requirements are coming, then all that will be handled by administrator to migrate from one environment to another environment.
Yes, you have
any questions?
All the installations.
Any questions?
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, is it anything related with Tibco Business Works to Spotfire, or this is like complete business analyst only, right? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, business works like is not completely related to Spotfire.
Okay. The reason is like you said developing, right? When you say
we are using
what kind of development we do this?
As a separate thing, like that application. So business works is completely not related to Spotfire.
Right. Because right now I'm doing in business work, so I'm looking some enhancement and take up a role where we have business works as well as Spotfire, something like that, to make a growth in my career.
Yeah, maybe we can use that. Yeah, we can use like C. I'm not sure like how can we use, but maybe some like option, some like platform will be there where we can combine business works with Spotfire. So obviously that both are the products of only. So maybe they would have given some options to like combine these two products. But like I'm not sure about. I've never used business works.
Okay, so my understanding here is like what is developer and administrator in Spotfire? What is the need of a developer and an administrator? There's like one person is there who will be handling all this stuff, right? Like suppose if one developer can be a admin as well as like a business analyst kind of. Maybe I'm missing some link over here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right now these are the kind of roles which are like there in Spotfire. Okay, so it's done. It doesn't matter like you must have a separate developer or a separate business analyst or a separate like administrator. So right now, see, I can give you my example. I am performing all the roles. So I am the business analyst. You can say me that I am a business analyst because I have to take the requirements from my business business users, and after that I have to create the dashboard. I have to take the data from different data sources. I have to take I have to create dashboards based on that. And I'm also managing administrating all my environment. So it doesn't matter if you want to do all these things then you will be there. So the difference between administrator and developers, we can say here the developer I mean authors, is many of these organizations are there. I have seen a lot of organizations which are working in Spotfire, and they don't have not provided access to the developers to access this information designer, and they don't have access. Many of the developers don't have access to their Spotfire environment administrator options. So for that, what they have done, that separate users accesses will be there for authors, means developers, and separate accesses will be there for administrators. So Spotfire environment will be managed by a different team, and development will be done by a different team. So they have provided separate accesses. So if you are working, for me, I am having complete access. I am having administrator access. So whatever I can do in Spotfire, I can do anything in Spotfire. So similar way, if you want to perform the role of developer and administrator, then you can perform here. So there is no separate concept of like you must be a developer or you must be an administrator. Separate concept of like you must be a developer or you must be an administrator.
No, my question was like what you said. I can understand. Like in any field, when admin means he will be managing like servers. There may be issues in the servers, kind of thing, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Developer means he will be doing a development. In this,
yes.
What is the role of an admin? What does he do? I leave about that client gives access whether or not. What is the role of admin actually in this?
In this like role of admin is just like one role is this first of all the like overall environment, to manage the overall environment. If the server is running up or not, all the patches, all the deploy all the patches, because all the patches Tibco is releasing some patches, security features, all that will be deployed by like administrator only. All that will be deployed by like administrator only.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we have any concept of like load balancing in this? Load balancing or something like that?
Yeah, load balancing is managed by Spotfire. Yeah, server side. Okay. Yeah, server side. So all that will be done by administrator only, not by developer. Because see, this load balancing, managing servers will not be done, cannot be done by developer. So maybe the developer doesn't have like knowledge on server components. So all that will be, so there will be separate team. Many organizations, every organization is having a separate team for administrator and separate team for development. But a business analyst in Spotfire must have knowledge of both the things. To administrator like this administrator a Spotfire environment and to have development knowledge also. So here we have Tibco Spotfire Architecture diagram. Here we can see we have Spotfire developer, like with Spotfire developer I mean to say extension. I don't want to create a confusion between author and developer. So with author we also referring to as him like as developer only. So here we have SDK. We are using SDK, Spotfire Development Kit. So we can extend the functionality to Spotfire. That is a complete separate thing. I have not seen like many organizations don't even use this as SDK because all their functionality, all their requirements are covered in Spotfire itself only. So here we have Tibco Spotfire as a central space which is responsible to connect each other, all other components. And here we have Spotfire Web Player. So a Spotfire server and Spotfire Web Player will be like installed on separate machines. So on one server machine, Spotfire server will be installed, and on one separate machine, Spotfire Web Player server will be installed. And as I told you, automation services, Spotfire application data services to connect to different data sources, Tibco business events, and Spotfire HTTP service will be deployed on Spotfire server only. Here we have different like data sources like RDBMS, spreadsheets, flat file, XML files, all that can be used in Spotfire server. And again we have different data sources here like SAP, Oracle, SQL, web services, Teradata, all that can be connected using application data services. We can connect Hadoop, we can connect Hive, we can connect Composite, all that can be connected to Spotfire server. And here we have Spotfire Web Player, which will be accessed by business user to access the reports. We have Enterprise Player. As I told you, Enterprise Player have some like the editable options here to edit the reports. And next we have Tibco Spotfire Professional. So Professional is a platform where the business developers will be creating all the dashboards. Spotfire Miner is a component which is basically used to mine the data. Next we have Spotfire S Plus. As I told you, S Plus is basically used for like doing some advanced calculations in your data. All that is a like component, like all that consists of like a architecture. So all connects with each other. In the coming slide, we can discuss this thing like how they are interconnected with each other. So let's see. This is a Spotfire server. This is connected to a Spotfire database. Next, it is connected to authentication user directory, because like whenever suppose you are the user, developer or web user, whatever. So When you are connecting with Spotfire, automatically your authentication user directory, your accesses, username and password will be connected, authenticated with user directory. So your authentication can be of any type, like single sign-on authentication. If your organization is using LDAP, then you can use LDAP authentication. If you use only username and password authentication, then you can also use that. So, excuse me. So next we have data sources, which are JDBC drivers. You can connect data sources using JDBC, and we have automation services deployed to Spotfire server. Next we have Spotfire web player server, which is connected to Spotfire server. So whatever you are doing in Spotfire client, because client is completely like connected with Spotfire server, so all the dashboards, all the data links, all the information links, all the columns, all the joins, filters, whatever you are doing in Spotfire client, all that will be saved in Spotfire library, which is placed in Spotfire server. That is called Spotfire library. And when the user, as we know, like Spotfire server and Spotfire web player is interconnected with each other and are in sync with each other. So whatever is there in Spotfire server can be seen in Spotfire web player also. So when the business user comes and views the reports in Spotfire web player here, all that information which you have saved in Spotfire library can be accessed in Spotfire web player. So all the dashboards can be accessed like that way. And from professional client, as we see, like professional, because professional is connected with Spotfire server. So whatever you are doing in Spotfire client, it will be saving here. From here, it will be saved. It will be sent to Spotfire web player server, and from web player server to web player. And strategic services are completely based on your using R and S+. So this is a flow diagram of Spotfire, how they are interconnected with each other. So if the server, Spotfire server is down, then everything is down, means nothing will work. It's a kind of user face. Let me show you the user face, like interface. So this is a kind of user interface. Here we have, like, see in your data, like when you are analyzing your data, you can have this kind of information here. Here we have, this is a like bar chart. Second, we have the text area. In text area, we can provide some text information so that the user can analyze it. This is a guided kind of information link. First is visualization. Second is text area. In this text area, we can provide some drop downs, list box, the date pickers, like that where all the property controls are there. We can provide images. So this is called text area. And next we have third. These are filters here. As you can see, the third item. These are the filter panels. Based on this, we can analyze, we can drill down our data. Suppose right now we can see that we are seeing 3 years data, 2001, 2 and 3. So if I want to analyze my 2001 data only, then based on when I select only uncheck 2002 and 2003, my data, all the visualization will be changed to have only 2001 data. Here we have one more option called details on demand. So details on demand is a feature. There are 3 main components of Spotfire, not components, features of Spotfire. First is visualization, second is like filters, and third one is details on demand. So in details on demand is a kind of table which will give you details of whatever you have selected in your charts. So right now we can see these are the highlighted items. Green one are coming as highlighted items because we have checked those items. So all the information which consists these highlighted items will be seen in details on demand. So this is a kind of functionality user interface of Spotfire.